Alright, so we are observing Core playing on one of his Smurf accounts here with Yepium, playing against Nevix here, Chinese here in the southeast corner. Core's playing as the HRE, Mongolian Heights here, and this is right after the patch. So new games after the patch, warming up for Golden League. Trying to both of these are on the off meta Civ list, so they will be able to play either of these Civs. So they're getting warmed for this weekend. Right off the bat on Mongolian Heights, you'll typically see double scouts, and everyone heads for the river because that is where the bulk of the sheep is in the river, and we already see Nevix coming out with a villager to build a dock, going quick dock with Chinese, go ahead and getting that booming economy going. He's starting with the typical 5 wood, to going to food as well. And over here we see Core. He's probably going with the balanced start. You kind of switch off between gold and food. And then he's doing the same thing with his prelate over here, bouncing between gold and food, making sure every one of his vills over here gets inspired. Just trying to get that fast chapel out, potentially. We don't really know exactly what he's going to go. Beforehand, you always would see the chapel being built and then straight to Regnitz, but this is after the patch, so we could see some variability here with the build orders and things of that sort. Only time will tell us here. We see a healthy amount of sheep coming in behind each of Core's scout over here in the base of Nevix. We got 7, I think it was 7 and 7. Nope, 7 and 8 now, so 15 sheep. Nevix chose to go single scout earlier on. He already did a sheep drop off we see here. It's impossible to click sheep now, so I don't really know how many he has. We'll just skip past that one. A little bit of a bug here. But as we see Core's still raking in some more sheep, this is one of the huge benefits of double scout on Mongolian Heights. They have, I think it's 31 sheep total compared to, I don't know, I think it's 24 or 26 on typical maps. So yep, just raking in more and more sheep. You see that's one of the greatest things about HRE2. If they're able to get a huge sheep economy, they don't have to expand out after or before they get their regnants. They're able to stay with that nice tucked in economy with their chapel, with their inspired villagers, and just able to really boost up, getting the relics in and skyrocketing. Also, one thing we didn't mention here, being the first game since the patch on Mongolian Heights, is one of the few maps that they actually changed the amount of relics on the map. So you'll see here, I think it's supposed to be 2 safe relics for each person and then 2 contested relics, or it might be 1 safe and 3 contested, but we'll see a total of 6 relics on the map compared to the old of always having 5 on every single map. Some of the more contested maps, they made 6 when they're split in half. It's 3 on either side, I believe. So over here, we're just seeing a typical split. With this chapel here, he's going to get both wood lines. He's actually missing his sheep line here. So hopefully in a second, we're going to see Core move all of these live sheep over to inside his chapel range, so he doesn't have to micro this prelate to inspire his food villagers, and he can just send one onto his gold and keep one in the chapel. We'll see how accurate Core is with his HRE game. I know he's typically a Mongol player, so he might not be as familiar as most. And right here we see the good micro from the scout denying the dock from Nevix, denying the getting walled out on this side. He only lost 1 sheep from it, was able to get his own wall up now. So he's going to be able to control this south side. The middle's already walled up by Nevix, and the all the way north is nice and free and clear right now. It's got a big kind of mountain range up top with some sheep that weren't found. Interesting placement there. I wonder how a tower would work if it's with the height bonus, if it gets far enough for that sacred site. Chapel still being built. 3 villagers on that. We see the Imperial Academy coming out first for Nevix. Just going to get that extra tax bonus. It's real close to his lumber camp here. We're going to assume a mill's eventually going to be dropped here, and then he's also going to have it. It's kind of maybe a step closer to his mining camp. So it's a decent spot there, but he'll be able to reclaim all of these taxes here real fast. We see this lumber camp's got 92 saved up in it as well, so still some taxes to be grabbed there. And now Core, he got the age up faster. He is dropping a dock right on the fishing economy of Nevix, and he's gonna try to immediately come out with the military ship here and get this fishing economy demolished. So we should see the galley get queued up. Oh, a outpost being dropped for Nevix in in defense here, and now we see the galley getting dropped out. And we see a counter wall coming out from Core himself, just doing the casual. I'm just going to wall all the way around your wall. Nevix got the north side wall built up. So the south side is Core, and Nevix has control of the middle and the top. Core also got this wall fully up here in the middle. So he's got some nice control, a decent defense going on. And we will just see how this economy and both of these late game civs decide to play out here, especially after the patch. We see a ton on gold for Chinese, so we're probably going to see a fast castle coming out of them with the heavy fishing economy. But Core's galley comes out at the perfect timing. He's going to deny a lot of these fishing ships. And one thing that we notice here is we didn't see a quick drop from Nevix with the food that's already in here. So this could be... Oh! And his own junk comes up at a good timing. He's on his own dock, so he's getting some healing up, and he wants to get near that tower, so the tower is going to get some damage on the galleys as well. Corger says, hey, I'm going to focus on your fishing economy. That is what you are here for. If I can deny that, that is big enough pressure right now and long-term damage. We see another dock being dropped here on the south side for Core. And we still are only on one dock over here for Nevix. Just trying to get getting a cast. I still can't tell what Nevix is thinking here. He's going on to stone. He's got a lot on the wood. This might just be a 2TC Song Dynasty behind this here in just a second. He's getting another wall up. So Nevix is playing this really defensively as well, making sure he doesn't have any pressure coming in from Core, even though, as we know with the HRE, they typically are just going for that Regnitz Cathedral and getting some of those prelates in. Now with the new update, you're only able to have 2 relics in rather than 3, still providing the same amount of gold. So we'll see how that affects what Core decides to do. If he's still going to go with the relic long game of just huge amount of gold creation. It's Najee's birthday here. He wants some attention. As you can see, this is one of his new toys I got him today. Turns 1 year old. So going back to the game, maybe he'll distract me a little less, and I can multitask decently. So here we're just seeing the fishing economy of Nevix. Just now it's gotten untouched here for a second, been able to build back up, and then we see castle being dropped for Core. Over here from Nevix, we just still see the he's got enough to drop that second TC. Alright, hopefully I'm not nope, not muted. He's got enough to drop that second TC down. We see it coming out at the 9-minute mark is when he's basically going to have it essentially dropped and built. And now we just see this middle dock being denied, but with this with the junk arrows, they do a significantly amount less to docks than what some of the other ships do. As you can see here, they're just shooting those little mini arrows, not doing much damage to it at all. So it's going to take quite a long time for this dock to actually be denied, and it's really just distracting those fishing ships, or not fishing ships, military ships that don't really have anything better to do. So I guess it's something else. So now we do see the Regnants dropped here from Core. Typically, you're going to see the prelates already be out and ready, which you see Core about to pick up 2 of them already. Like we said, that is the max amount that he needs here. Okay, he has seen the other one on his side there, so he knows he can go grab a third. We might actually see now with the update, they said there's no longer the bug, I believe, with putting a relic into docks, and it correctly kind of makes it work. You might see relic in docks, but I would probably say towers and keeps would be the more likely. Oh, the little sneak around from Core that we didn't see at all. Thank God he's in the chat. I wonder how long it would have taken me to see it. We see a little blue pop up here in the map, and we see some proxy stables coming in from a villager here behind from the HRE, and he is probably going to get a nice little night mass here to get some raids going in on this. He thinks free and clear Chinese economy. We can see still he's just fully distracted over here with that, with the dock here. Core's using the prelates to go ahead and grab the sacred sites. He might as well at this point, just how we said. He grabbed that third relic, and where is he going to end up placing it? What did we say? We'd probably say a tower. Outpost, whatever you want to call it. So he's throwing it in an outpost. It still is going to generate that 100 gold that a relic typically would, but the outpost is going to gain some extra sight, range, damage, I think defense, all of the above. It just makes it basically a buffed up outpost that also is going to be producing gold. Core also, with this proxy stable positioning, he also protects two of the other relics over here from Nevix and fully denies these from Nevix, and we'll see if he ends up trying to sneak a prelate through somehow through the, even though it's denied, we'll see if he somehow tries to get a prelate through and snag some of these relics over here from Nevix. Now we see the big Hulk of Core come out of the dock here that never even got killed. So all that time attempting to deny the dock didn't even do enough to end up denying it fully. Core was able to get this junk out, and the Hulk out, and as we see, Hulks just completely outmatched the junks of Nevix. We got some requests in the chat for some Core coaching over here. So Core's not creating another Hulk out of this. Instead, he is going for those night raids in the economy that Nevix thought was safe. And look, we see the immediate reactions of the barracks being dropped, but they're being dropped where the knights are. The knights are going to be able to deny these barracks. He needs to build them somewhere else that's safer. Wasn't ever able to get the barracks built, so he's not even going to have any night denial. And look at this. We see still more barracks trying to come down. Core could just go and fully deny this wood line over here, deny more of the barracks. And now we see the first spearman coming out. But look, he's actually not even building spearmen. He has to get the upgrade to harden first, because those little weak regular spearmen are going to do close to nothing to these knights at this point. So everything but the fishing economy has been fully denied out of Core. And if Core is able to get another one or two of those Hulks out, he could deny basically the full economy at this point. So we see the knights being taken down. This is going to give time for Nevix to create a couple extra spearmen now to maybe have some defense. But look, the knights are still coming back and still doing damage. They just take so much of these arrow damage during Castle Age because there's no military upgrades. There's no military out for Nevix. At this point, we see 42 economy for Core. We see 65 for Nevix. But the majority of the 65 is completely stalled out. We see 52 idols right here for Nevix. So basically, Nevix's whole entire economy is stalled out over here. And Core is just putting more and more damage on while getting to completely have some safe and nice economy behind. Additionally, what we can't forget about is even though he may be down in the villager count, he is still up as far as gold and income and resource production goes, because the Regnitz Cathedral is creating 600 gold per minute, which is the equivalent to 15 unupgraded villagers, and he's also got another 200 from the additional relic and sacred site. So that's 800 extra gold per minute, which is the equivalent of 20 villagers essentially. Still putting some damage over here with the night raids. Now we see the proxy barracks. He's doing a men-at-arms swap now. The next one gets denied, but he's already got 2 barracks up and 3 stables, and now he's got men-at-arms coming in on the economy as well. So right when Nevix makes the swap over to Spearman, Core makes the exact correct swap and swaps to the man-at-arms in reaction, and now we see Nevix swap to the archery rangers and build crossbows in reactions to the men-at-arms. This is just over and over again. Economy denial and forcing Nevix on the back end, on basically having to be on the constant reaction rather than the aggression. We see these two spearmen trying to deny this barracks, putting some damage on it. Core could just send 1 man-at-arms to wipe both of those easily. But even still, we see more and more denial. Nevix is starting to expand out from his original base because Core's starting to kind of just focus in on the original base. He doesn't really have any of the scouting behind it because it's the proxy bases. So a good idea from Nevix to expand out here. But now we see Core coming in with those Hulks just like we talked about. While Nevix was over here distracted in his base and the economy the whole time, Core took that opportunity to drop multiple docks, get these Hulks out. Now he's going to be able to deny all the military ships and go kill the fishing economy of Nevix. And guess what, Core's going to probably do behind this once he retakes the water? He's probably going to start creating his own fishing economy as well. So at this point in time, Core's on the super aggression right here. We see him grabbing a relic. He might be moving that relic up to one of these docks, just how we mentioned with the new update. They're actually useful in docks again. He killed those spearmen that were setting the barracks ablaze. He still could get some of these heavy men or the men-at-arms upgrades if he's looking to do it. He is floating a lot of res, so it's just going to kind of be a waiting game to see what Core wants to end up doing. We see him building houses. He's got a nice, still pretty compact, but still pretty safe economy. He's got all the sides walled off, so he's not really scared of anything coming there. And these Hulks are about to just come clear all of the economy over here from Nevix. We'll see if Nevix reacts and tries to build a dock over here on this top side, but he might just give up water over here in general. And now we will see the Palace of Swabia, I assume. Yes, it is. So even though it got nerfed from 75% reduction to 66, it is still a printer, and a printer is very, very, very useful. When it comes to villagers just getting pumped out, you can basically send your villagers in and just throw them away because it doesn't even matter, you're making them so fast. We see the massive crossbows coming out, but look how big of an overreaction it is, and Core only has 2 men-at-arms created over here. So yes, while he does end up denying these proxy bases from Core, Core's over here and not worrying about it because he's about to have the printer and have a way bigger economy than the 2TC Song Dynasty of Nevix. So Core's at 53 economy. Nevix has gotten up to 69, which is getting a little closer to even when you think about the relic pressure. But now Core is going to be able to skyrocket that villager count and catch up to Nevix in no time here. Nevix is still going to be over here distracted from the main army, or from these proxy bases of Core, and Core is taking that opportunity just to kind of continue to push up, make sure there's no other dock on the river, and make sure he has full control of the river. He probably gains a little bit of vision of the edge of these granaries. He does. He's actually going to be able to take down the granary if he wants. Not the granary, the farm on the granary. So yeah, just the denial of the proxy bases. But here we go with the. Remember how just a second ago Core was down probably 15, 20, it was probably 20 villagers? It's 75 and 62. So only 13 now. He's starting to close the gap there with the Palace of Swabia. He's got a ton of villagers over here on gold. We see his current resources. We see current income per minute. Core's beating him in every regards other than the food economy because he's built this huge granary productions of farms over here. Nevix is over here making sure Core doesn't do any other cheese with these proxy bases, but he has done way more than enough damage than was expected with those proxy bases. It was a great move. He was able to retake the river and do a ton of damage to the eco of Nevix. And now we will see what Core decides to go as far as his army. He is going mass barracks. He's got 6 of them dropped at this point right now, and he has the economy behind it to support the 6 barracks easily, if not more. We see some upgrades coming out. Armor Spearmen and Elite Lange Connects. So, looks like he's going to go with a just a combination of some infantry units here coming out. Elite Lange Connects coming out. So he's going to... I don't know how to say that. I'm just going to say Land Snakes. I forgot. Core, next time you're on stream... You got to pronounce it for me so I learn how to say stuff correctly, or I can just say it like an idiot over and over again. So over here now, we see just still 11 crossbows and the spearman mass coming out from Nevix, and just more and more farms coming out. So he had a huge reaction, knew, hey, I'm fully denied on the water. I need to get food behind this, and so he's going to get a fully farming eco that's safe and secure. Yeah, well, they have a line saying their name, and I never play HRE, so I don't hear the line. More Siege Workshop now being dropped, so 6 barracks and a Siege Workshop, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see even another Siege Workshop being dropped here. Veteran Spearmen, Men at Arms as well. So he's just, like I said, going to go with a combination over here of a bunch of different melee infantry units, and he's getting a nice forward keep to deny the middle. There is a tower already there, an outpost there from Nevix, so Nevix is going to get sight of this, but I don't know if he's going to be able to react and deny it in time. He doesn't know what Core has behind this. He hasn't been able to scout anything behind it for a while. He heard the Palace of Swabia drop minutes ago, and so he knows that there could be a huge scary mass just sitting behind this of multiple mangonels that would fully wipe his army. So at this point in time, Nevix is sitting in the blind. He decides to go with some hand cannoneers. Was that a hand cannoneer? Yeah, hand cannoneers that are just one of the most kind of just baseline high damage units, good against everything. And look at Core again, sneaking these villagers around. He could deny some of the eco over here. We're just going to look. He doesn't quite have enough for a keep here yet. Was I looking at Nevix? I think I was looking at Nevix. He's dropping a keep over here to deny another good pain point. This is going to be one of his next gold spots. Oh, you bought? Okay. So it's going to deny one of the next gold spots, and we already know Core saw this earlier too, so he'll probably try to get one up here as well, denying some more. We still haven't seen him come around for these relics yet, but we could see that at any point in time. He's denying anything coming around this top side as well, with the Hulk just sitting here for some good vision and some good defense. Nevix is dropping a keep to hope to protect his granaries and farm eco. And he got a trebuchet out to try to start sieging down the middle keep here of Core. And look at that. We see a fat bombard coming out from Core that just said, I'm going to start shooting at some buildings and doing damage. The melee combinations come in with Spearmen and Land Snakes. Core still got a lumber camp here in case he wants to grab any wood from the forest. So at this point in time, we see the range of gunpowder units getting dropped over here for Nevix, and he is going with a bombard as well. This is about to be a bombard versus bombard battle. Oh. And Core did a great job at getting this keep here in the middle, but instead of going to try to protect this good positioning, he is dropping the extra keeps. So while he does end up denying other vision and map control with this one, he kind of just gave up the middle that he had worked so hard to get here. Now we see the monks coming out from Nevix, finally going to grab some of these relics, and that is where he might spot some of these villagers here later on in a second. We got some crossbows over here from Nevix. I guess he might have had some idea of no idea where these villagers are, but he's going to try to find them. And now we really see that mass coming out from Core. There's the other 2 siege workshops that we expected coming out. He's starting to get a front line for that siege economy, and now you're in the position of a siege war against Chinese, who can potentially make stronger siege and have some different siege upgrades with the reloading drills and some of these others. But the key is going to be Core has that non-stop gold generation. So at some point in time here, Chinese is going to run out of gold. He does have this forward mine, not a great position. As I just said, forward mine. He has run out of gold in the other spot. Oh no, so here's his gold mine. He's got 800 left in it, and from there he's going to have to move out to one of these other mines. One of them's been fully denied by Core's keep here, but again, Core spent all those resources on these keeps, and now he's just letting them get denied. He is snagging the deer as a, I guess, countering the food from Nevix, but at this point Nevix doesn't care. His farming economy is so built up, he doesn't even need to go for the deer ever. I don't know what Core's doing with these 2 rogue villagers here in the middle. He just said, hey, I just want to take a little stroll here and check and see what's up. Now we see the other monk coming out here. Gonna try to grab the other relic. I wonder if he's gonna go for a cheeky quick Wololo. And now we finally see this giant massive infantry move out from Core. He is at max pop, and so is Nevix. But you see Nevix's economy is higher and he has less military. But these ships over here in the middle, the Hulks do count as the military. But we will see how this mass of infantry goes up against the combination of some infantry as well as crossbows. And they have these Imperial Palace Guards, Elite Palace Guards. Just how I said. Went for that cheesy Wololo. He did not, was not successful on it, but now he does see the vision of Core's Vills, and now, just how he said, he had to move off of this other gold mine and go to these other routes. So Core's about to see this. I wonder if Core's going to get down a tower or anything really quick. There he goes. Right as I say it, he drops the tower. He's got some villagers coming back. He might try to build some multiple towers here and just deny as much of these villagers on the gold as possible. We see Nevix already trying to react to this tower. He already sees it. Oh, the bombard comes fast. Unfortunately, he's not going to be able to deny any of this. The bombard reaction was too fast. This is going to be too late if he just continues to push up here. But look at the base of Nevix. These were all, this is that 60-something mass of Lance Connect and infantry, but look at what is coming from behind it. He has so many barracks that are just non-stop producing here and just continuing to roll out, and just a line of infantry coming in over and over and over again to put pressure on the economy of Nevix. We see the typical healing trick on the bombard, but he was not able to save it. We do see this little proxy attempt from Core get denied here, but Core has a ton of food here, which is a good sign for the HRE, because he should be constantly generating that free gold without any denial, which he is. He's got some great farming economy behind this, and even still, like we said, Nevix has had no scouting in Core's space the whole time, and Core sees everything what to expect from Nevix. So Core is the aggressor, and Nevix is going to be constantly on the reaction. He's again pushing up for this keep. He's just throwing away Vills, but at this point in time, Chinese doesn't care as much for Vills because they have a huge economy as well. He's attempting to get this up, but this is still a lot more damage than what you expect here. We see a basically max pop for Core, and we see the pop from Nevix going down. He's still got 131 villagers even after all of those deaths, but the problem is he's got idols and his military numbers are low. 20 military over there from Nevix. He is being denied a ton. Damage is coming down. We see the Culverins came out as the counter siege unit, but they don't do that much damage actually against some buildings. So he needs to get a couple more of those Bombards out if he wants to do damage. But we see another Culverin come. One of the Trebuchets sitting back. He needs to get that up and doing some damage immediately right now. Nevix looks like he is starting to run out of his wood line as well. He has chopped through the two main forests, so he's going to have to go to this other forest that Core had to keep on earlier. But you see he's already prepping, dropping his own defensive keep that will protect the forest as well as the gold line. He is eating through this gold pretty fast. He's already halfway through it with that many villagers. With 26 villagers, you really do want to drop a second mining camp. There's a little video on that. Core just said, screw it, I'm going to kill your barbecue with spearmen and just take your Zhuganu fire. Which these Zhuganu shred through spearmen. This is not a good play for Core. He needs to probably switch off the spearmen here in a little bit, unless he, yeah, back to the Lance Connect. He's still sitting spearmen out. We see some of these aren't queued up their waypoint, but he is on top of the bomb, whatever it's called, the astronomical clock tower. So he's able to fully deny any of those extra healthy siege that comes out from Nevix, which is one of the strengths of the Chinese economy. Or not Chinese economy, Chinese civilizations. Huge mass of these Zhuganu. This is also one of the things we see since the update. You're no longer blocked by dynasties, and you don't lose out of your specific units. So you're able to produce these units the whole game. So I think you'll see this a little more often when the Zhuganu are super, super strong. Clock tower about to go down, so that's going to be all of that extra healthy siege that's about to be denied. But we see Nevix starting to have a huge mass of these Zhuganu. He's got 50 of them, and he's starting to move up with the keep himself in the aggressor. Still hasn't pushed out of any other side. We still got this Hulk sitting up here just for vision, actually denying this relic as well. This gold vein's about to be fully mined out, and then he will move on to the next. But at this point in time, he has started to regain the forward gold vein, and especially if he can get a forward keep here dropped in a second. We have seen both of these economies start to stabilize. It's going to be right now about the map control, the resources, and the unit play. Who can get more of the siege out, and the siege actually has to hit its targets that it needs to. We might see a couple of those juicy mangonel shots on this mass of archers, which is exactly what Core needed to get out here, being the aggressor. Going back onto this keep for more damage. And we see the Imperial Palace landmark getting dropped from Nevix. This will give him vision of the enemy workers and just kind of oversight of the map to know where Core is and kind of how his base looks and how some of that layout is. Core himself, he has started to chop through quite a bit. But he has multiple still forests that are near that he hasn't kind of chopped through yet. We still haven't quite seen Nevix swap over to these other bigger forests that he has control of again. He's just taking the smaller ones over here for now and denying all of those. We see a couple of these mangonels go into cinematic mode here. This looks like to be a good fight for Core. He's denied a lot of those Zhuganu. The mangonels have gotten some good shots down. And the Lance Connect and Spearmen have been able to put a decent amount of damage. And we just slowly see that move coming up. We see the keep has gone down, and this is going to be some denial of these granaries. He has these other ones over here, but this is still going to be a good amount of food denial here. We see a little bit of a pushback here from Nevix, but I think a couple good mangonel shots will be all that Core needs to wipe the rest of these army and really take over this map control. We see the gold mined out at the worst possible timing. Nevix needs constant gold production to be able to build some of these units and to be able to constantly, you know, counter out this push that's coming in from Core. And Nevix is just sitting here with 28 idle vills that were on gold. So this is the perfect timing for Core. We see Nevix's current resources are sitting there. He's not able, well, he's not able to produce any units out of here as much anymore. He's starting to sell, use his market more. And now we finally see the movement coming in, going over to the different gold spots. Mangonel's moving up again, going for these spots of Juganu. Oh, that was a really good shot there. Probably took a bunch down to lower health and took a lot down completely. Another huge hit from Core there, probably taking around 15 total there at least. And he is just constantly knocking out the base and taking control. He's putting towers down and just getting more and more map control out of here and really constricting Nevix to be able to go anywhere else. Nevix is not pop capped. He's over here at 128. He has been short on the military train over and over again. The military just keeps getting wiped by these mangonels that Core has been able to protect for the most part. He did have 3. He's now down to 2 because that bombard was able to do some damage. But we see Core's just able to constantly trickle in everything. And the pressure is on Nevix. He's having to start to expand, go to different spots for different food, different gold. And after this last gold mine is mined out, Core's been able to retake this front positioning, and there's going to be no more gold for Nevix on the map. Core, yeah, both are floating quite a bit of res here, but Core's at Nevix is at max pop, and Core is not actually. Core stopped production for a bit here. He said, hey, let's regroup, let's rethink. What's he doing? He's just remacroing behind this, I bet. Yep, remacroing, sending people to wood. Needs to create some units while he's doing that, but it's okay. He's still able to keep putting this pressure on. We now see, what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4 of the landmarks down for Chinese. We have the main town center left. Is that all that's left? I thought there was more. Oh, here we go. No? Spirit Way. There it is. So a couple more landmarks over here left. And look at this little set of tower defense that Core has played out. He's got this one upgraded with cannon outpost. He hadn't quite. He's getting a cannon outpost on the front one. And that's going to start raining down some damage as well. Culverin's moved up, take the bombard out right as it starts to push up, and Nevix was not able to deny. Oh, the Culverins decide to turn back around. Nevix was able to deny one of the Culverins, but all this time, Trebs are raining down on Nevix's base, denying keeps, denying town center. He is killing the town center, and after that, there is going to be only one landmark left for Core. Core continual. Oh, I don't want to put that. Continues to put pressure on, continuing to just constrict. And what did I say about that gold? The gold is all mined up. Nevix has nowhere else to go other than this gold mine. And I think that's when he knows he is done. He's going to have to constantly sell all his res, use the market to get any gold. And that is not a viable option when you have units expensive as bombards. We see Nevix still. He's just not able to get any gold. These vills are just sitting here idle with nothing to do and nowhere to go. The Culverins have been sniped out from Core, and Core is back down to his infantry army only. Where's Core's army? Core is down to 150 pop with this pressure, and Nevix is still at max at 200. Core needs to regroup here before Nevix gets a ball and is able to kind of save up and regroup. We're going to see a lot of healing, a lot of building, but all this time Nevix is going to be out of gold. There's going to be no siege units that are coming out unless, well, I guess he's getting 300 gold a minute from Sacred Site and 2 relics. But at this point in time, there's no other gold coming out. He's going to try to push forward and take this gold. But now Core is starting to remass here. He's starting to get those counter siege units back out. We see double Culverin, double Mangonel. All the towers here have done a great job to stall out Nevix of just kind of counter pushing and fully denying anything that Core can get up after losing all of his military there with that push. And again, now Nevix is going to push up and take back this gold mine to try to start taking gold. But this is where you might get worried. If Core is able to push up with this army and max pop army that he has remassed, and he has the floating res to continue to keep everything going, Nevix does not have the resources behind it to get siege, and the siege right here is the scary part. The Mangonels are going to be the total decision maker of this fight, wiping the Zhuganu. They could kill all of these. They could kill all of these villagers in just a couple shots. So we see Core starting to make the move up. We see a couple palace guards starting to attack this this wall finally and push onto the side of Core. But I think it might be too little too late here on the side of Nevix. He is starting to get some gold in, but we see all these landmarks still down. He only has He only has one landmark up. He says, I don't need my main TC. I don't need bills. I just need an army to beat you. Mangonel shots coming out. Like I said, that's the difference maker in this fight. Nevix is stuck with an all trash unit army, is what it would be called. Essentially with Zhuganu and Spearmen. And forced Mangonels are just going to wipe through. All we see are red dead bodies on the ground with a few blue ones there. But Core doesn't care. He has more than enough res to constantly trickle in these units and infantry, and more gold denial. There is no more gold for Nevix. Nevix knows he is in a dire situation, and Core only has 2 more landmarks to get. We saw all of those vills go down from those Mangonel shots that were waiting to get back on top of the gold. Continuing to see more and more Zhuganu come out, more and more Spearmen come out. Nevix is just doing the best he can to stall for as long as he can. But he is starting to run out of res on his side of the map. Core also is starting to chop through a lot of these wood lines. He still has a couple of these smaller ones out and about. And he still has one more gold mine left to mine if he needs it. But remember, Core has a lot more of that constant gold generation compared to Nevix. And Nevix is, that's why Nevix has been forced onto this unit army composition that he has. Mangonel's just firing down on the enemy arrows. But now we see the fire arrows coming out from the Zhuganu. But like, it's still not going to be enough. They're never going to be able to get on top of these Mangonels. Now we're going to see a horseman swap. This is what he needs to do to jump on the Mangonels, but we see Spearmen already out for Core. Core is going to be able to defend a horseman push super easily. Can just brace the horseman, defend his Mangonels, defend his siege, and constantly just slowly push up as you continue on. We got max pop still from Core, and now is when we're starting to see Nevix's population start to dip. He's floating a ton of food, but his gold resources are at a all-time low. Core back on the tower game. He's pushing up, trying to get those front defensive points to fall back on if he needs to, and he's just to continue to do this. More and more siege, more and more infantry, more towers, more defense. At this point in time, I think it is just the Spirited Way left. The last landmark is right back here. We see no siege out for Nevix. We see no way to get on top of the siege other than a few measly horsemen that don't even have the upgrades to veteran yet. And we see that Nevix is pop. He is not I was about to say pop capped. It looked like he was, but he is not pop capped. He is not at max pop. Core is pop capped with a ton of units already ready and waiting, with a ton of res in the bank. We see those horsemen dive onto those mangonels. They were able to get a couple of the picks here, but the problem is that the damage to Nevix's base is too much to handle. Mangonel's still alive, still raining down onto these Juganu. He did end up getting the elite fire lancers coming out to try to jump onto the siege now as well. That is one of the specialized unit from Chinese, and they actually do a lot of damage. He might be able to get picks on both of the culverins back here, as well as both of the trebuchets. But what will Nevix do when he sees the remasked army of core with more mangonels coming that he hasn't gotten close to getting down to below his max pop here for quite a while, whereas Nevix is struggling to get back up to max pop. More mangonel shots coming down onto those fire lancers, trying to just draw them in. Oh! Huge mangonel shots again onto these Juganu, and he's just going to continually fire down these on. So, Spirited Way was burning. We just saw it is burning, and is that the last landmark? It is game over. Oh my gosh.